Hello, it's Neon, and today we're going to be talking about how a shuttle coaster works. Yes, I was originally gonna make a video, like a really long video of how like every single general little roller coaster works, but that would end up being too long, and I don't really have enough time to do that. So I have a plan, and that is to make several of these videos of how different these different mechanisms for these different types of rides and stuff. And I'm gonna start off today with one that's kind of simple, has a pretty small little footprint. And by footprint, I mean it doesn't take up much space, and they can be quite fun. And right now, I'm standing next to my latest thing. You can probably see something there in the background too. The this is what I've been working on for the past few months. This is actually the latest little coaster that I put together. Like made a brand new thing. Yeah, I modeled this in Blender, and check it out. Oops. Yee! It's right there. These are inverted trains. Inverted meaning, well, as you can see, the track is up there and the train is down here. That's what inverted means. And what makes these special from any other inverted coaster is the fact that this uses a magnetic launch system. It's called linear induction motors, which abbreviated as LIMs. I mean, I'll get to that in a moment, but here, a shuttle. This is a shuttle coaster, which means that both ends do not meet up. There's no loop. It's just, as you can see, one side just completely ends, and the other one too. Yee. No, you might be wondering. Hold on. How is this supposed to work? Well, I don't know. The goal here is to just go straight up to the space. Yeah. I'm just kidding, by the way. No, it doesn't do that. In fact, there are little stoppers at the end of these things to prevent that just in case. But no. If you look closely all the way up there, you can see like a little stopper. There's a little twisted spike. If it isn't obvious already, this is actually based off an Intamin Impulse coaster. There are a few of these around. Like this model of the Intamin Impulse coaster is called. I don't know what I actually don't know what the name of it is, but it's the most popular. It was the most popular model for the Intamin Impulse, and the ones that are still out there and operational is Steel Venom at Valley Fair. Possessed at Dorney Park, and I believe Screaming Eagle. No, sorry, Screaming Condor over at some park. I forgot the name of it again. Some part. This is some sort of park in Europe. I believe it is Poland. I'm not sure, but it's called Screaming Condor, and it's an intimate impulse, and because this is my little design, it's like I try to make it like as mini as possible. I call it the Icarus, the Icarus Pulsar. Yeah, that's mine. But it's a shuttle coaster, which means that it goes forwards and then backwards, or vice versa. This one does it multiple times. It goes how many times? Like one. So it goes forwards 3 times, and then backwards 3 times as well. So yeah, this is one unique one. Unique because it is inverted and it's launched. Those are very rare now, unfortunately. And I even made like my own little trains here too. They're heavily inspired by Intamin inverted trains, by the way. Mainly they're like older style. I know they make the newer generation, which has a lap bar, but the older ones have a you know shoulder harness. Mine do not, because this is VR chat. But instead of a lap bar, I have this thing called the Mars. And what Mars stands for Magnetic Avatar Restraint System. And well, because it's virtual reality, all I had to do is just click on the seat and you sit in it, and it will hold you in without needing anything. You don't need a lap bar, you don't need a seatbelt, no harness, nothing. The only flaw with it, though, is if you walk, you fall off. Yeah, so don't walk. Just don't. I mean, to be fair, there's no such thing as a fall damage in VR chat. So you don't have to worry about that. But, yeah. The main reason why I didn't have any restraint is because, well, I actually ridden some coasters in VR before, and to be honest, the restraints kind of get in the way. It's not really necessary. It doesn't really serve a purpose. It's kind of it's more in the way than it is useful or fancy, I guess. So I just did away with it. You don't need it. Well, hopefully. But yeah, here you can also see the little logo there. Anyway, let me show you this train I have, or a little car, I should say, because it's only just one out here. This says caution, just so you can watch out and not hit your head on this metal piece. Yeah. Although this is virtual reality, so you can literally just go right through it. And yeah, nothing nothing happens. But to show you this, the top of this thing, I need to grow a little bit. All right, I have gotten taller now, and check this out. This right here is a wheel assembly, and that's just the name of this, well, part here. This whole thing in red, and including the wheels too. Now, wheels. These two are called road wheels. They are what basically, it's what's holding everything on the track. Basically, these are what like basically like just like road tires on your car. Yeah, that's what it is. These two, these are called guide wheels or side friction wheels, and those are simply just to guide the the train as it's going through as it helping make turns. Without these, uh, you could go off the track and derail. You don't want that. And lastly, these are called upstops, and they simply just prevent the train from completely derailing and coming off the track. It's really what it does. So altogether, these mainly keep you on the track at all times. And another little interesting feature about this is really cool safety feature is that if for whatever reason, and this is very rare to happen, extremely, extremely rare, but if all of these wheels were to suddenly fall off, it would still be on the track. It wouldn't derail simply because of the shape of this. And as you can imagine, I'll use my arm here as an example, but um, it will not be able to come off the track because of let's get the frame here, the red little frame. It's the shape of a C. So, well, yeah. And then this whole thing, the whole wheel assembly can pivot too. Can pivot side to side, spinning around. But yeah, that's the wheel assembly. Now, this right here, these are called reaction fins. And hold on, let me get a better angle. These reaction fins are basically just metal, but these go in between the linear induction motors and help propel the coaster. And it works basically the concept here is just like an electromagnet. So here, let me show you what the LIMs actually look like. These right here are linear induction motors, and the fins actually go right in between these little gaps. And there's a really, really small gap between the fins and the thing, well, the clearance. And just like an electromagnet, your coils would be inside of these little um, white little boxes. And as you know, with an electromagnet it would you pass some electricity through this thing, and it would basically pull the metal fins towards it. And that's basically how that works. But if you were to just, flip the switch on and, just have one continuous and just keep this motor on, the train would simply move forward a little bit and then just lock in place as the fins would just be attracted to the magnet. So instead of doing that, there's actually a whole series of separate electromagnets inside this thing, like separate coils. And so the idea here is that the reaction fins would it will be pulled, and then the once it reaches a certain point, the fins, or no, sorry, that coil would turn off, and then the next one would turn on, and it will be attracted to that. That one will turn off. The next one will turn on again, and keep moving forward, and so on. And it does this um, in a certain pattern, a certain speed, in order to propel the train and accelerate it. And on the Intamin, the Intamin LAMs, they are pretty punchy. They have a pretty punchy launch, and I like that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, that's how linear induction motors work. Oh, and as a little bonus too, this coaster has a holding brake. That's what it's called. And in the animation for this thing, I actually animated it going and stopping right up there. And you'll see up there, you see all that like white strip all the way on top of the tower. That's those are the same kind of LAMs. However, this time, just like an electromagnet, it will, as the train comes by here to its highest point, those LAMs would activate for basically a split second, and then it will drop you back down. And the official term for it, at least what Intamin calls it, it's called Tower Park. It's like park. It's basically just park your tower vertically midair. It's crazy. Currently, there is only one of these impulse coasters that still do this, and it's Steel Venom at Valley Fair. So, if you want to experience what that's like, I suggest going there and riding Steel Venom. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then for braking, I don't have I don't have it for this model here. Basically, my idea here is when the train comes when the train slows down and comes up here, then rolls back. The okay, it will the fins will go past these LAMs, and they would cause a little bit of an eddy current. If you don't know what an eddy current is, it's basically when you take a just any piece of metal that's like not attracted to a magnet. If you were to take a magnet and put it and drop it through like a aluminum pipe, you would actually notice that it will actually fall slower than normal. And that is eddy current. So that's what's happening here. Eddy current brakes. They are very, very smooth, very good braking system for roller coasters. Only problem is, it cannot completely stop a coaster, so you need to have some actual friction brakes, which is similar to what you have on your car brakes. How they have like a caliper, and then basically like a piece of metal will be in between these two, and then it would close and basically just tightly grip the piece of metal. Those are friction brakes. And on a coaster, they are pneumatically operated, meaning they use air pressure, a combination of air pressure and springs to open and close. Here, well, you also have the assistance of the LAMs themselves to basically position the train at the station. So, yeah, I may not I may not have done a very good exclamation to this. To be fair, I am pretty tired. But hey, I hope you enjoyed it. And I mean, if you're asleep, then ye my job here is done. But maybe you learned something new today. You never know. But yeah. Uh I will see you guys next time, and have a good day or a good night. Bye bye.